In this video, we'll be looking at recent updates to the Plait Mobile app, providing integration with Plait's new care planning module. We'll see how care workers can review the contents of a service user's care plan anytime, anywhere, and the new look for recording completion of tasks. I'm going to be using a very basic desktop emulation of the mobile app for the purpose of recording this video. So although it may not look much like a phone is being used here, the contents and layouts of the screens is reflective of what your care workers will see when logging into the new version of Plait Mobile from their mobile device. In this video, I'm going to be taking on the role of Will Kane, who, as you might remember, is the care worker who we assigned to Eileen Douglas's visits in the previous video where we were looking in detail at the concept and practicalities of task sessions. If you have not yet reviewed that video and the previous video where we created an initial care plan for Eileen, you are strongly encouraged to do so now, as familiarity with Eileen's care plan, her task sessions and her schedule of visits will improve your understanding of the topics covered in this video. Before we start, let's take a quick look at Will's calendar. Eileen's care plan became effective at midnight on Monday, and we can see that Will has a busy day ahead of him, including 3 visits to Eileen, one at 8 a.m, for the visit matched to her morning task and med sessions, again at 11:30 for the visit matched to her lunchtime sessions, and finally at 5:30 this afternoon for a visit on a 2 care worker run where Eileen's evening tasks and meds will be completed. Let's take a look now at Will's homepage after he has logged into Plait Mobile on Monday morning to review his roster for the day. You'll probably be familiar with the layout of the Plait Mobile homepage where we see a card for each of Will's visits. Along with the planned times of the corresponding event, the name of the service user is displayed. If the care worker has more than one type of event today, the event type will be shown here. To the right of the text, various icons can appear. The exclamation mark is used to indicate that the service user has associated warnings, such as a dog, that the care worker should be aware of. Details are provided when drilling down to the corresponding event. The pill indicates that the event is matched to one or more of the service user's med sessions, meaning that there will be medications to administer, leave out, or prompt the service user to self-manage. This gift indicates that it is the service user's birthday today. New in this version of Plait Mobile is this flashing book icon. The appearance of the flashing book indicates that an initial care plan has been published for the corresponding service user, or the service user's care plan has changed since we last reviewed it. Upon seeing this icon, care workers should be strongly encouraged to click through to the details of the corresponding event, where access to the full care plan or its recent changes will be provided. This page provides access to all of the information and actions that are relevant to the selected event. Here we see the event type and its planned times. The actual times when we arrived and departed will be displayed here later. The service user's address, together with a link for accessing this on a map or as driving directions from our current location, are also provided. Below we see service user background information including warnings, allergies and comments. Some of this information can be suppressed from appearing here through options available through Plait. This area of the page is where we get access to the meds, tasks and logs relating to this event. The 3 here indicates the number of meds that are due to be administered, left out or prompted during this event. This +1 as required indicates that there is a PRN medication associated with the session. PRN means as the need arises. These are meds not always required. Clicking on the pill icon provides access to full details of all of these medications. From here, this icon identifies meds that are delivered as part of a blister pack. The question mark icon identifies optional items, and this finger pointing icon identifies topical meds such as creams. The first line of any notes that have been entered for the corresponding med are shown here and can be expanded to show the full text. For context, we can scroll forwards and backwards to see the meds that have or are due to be administered, left out or prompted during earlier and later med sessions. The 4 here indicates the number of tasks that are due to be completed during this event. As we saw within Plait, the flexi tasks are enumerated separately because these don't need to be completed in the same way as the other tasks do. Clicking on the cup icon provides full details of these tasks, including any notes that may be associated with them. As with meds, we can scroll backwards and forwards from here to see the tasks that are or were due to be completed during this service user's earlier and later task sessions. This None button relates to event logs. We'll be looking at these in just a moment. And notice this flashing red halo around the service user's name. If the flashing book icon appeared on the home page, this halo will be flashing to indicate that the service user has a new or updated care plan that we are yet to review. Let's click on the service user's name to see what is prompting this halo to appear. This page is where we can review the contents of the Service Users Care Plan. These blue headings are the highest level sections of Eileen's care plan. You might remember that our care plan structure defines 3 sections: demographics, background, and care and support plan, each of which became a tab when creating and later viewing Eileen's care plan within Plait. Well, those care plan sections are presented here as headings that can be expanded and collapsed to see the related information. Under demographics, we find the service user's name and date of birth as well as her home address, which appears beneath its own collapsible header due to the way that the care plan structure has grouped these fields together. Under background, we find information relating to Eileen's living arrangements, mobility, and physical health, which were originally imported from her electronic referral and which pre-filled this section of Eileen's care plan thanks to the links that we set up between fields in the care plan structure and fields in the referral format. Under care and support plan, we can see that a single need, concern, or problem has been defined for Eileen, but we cannot see any of the details of this because of the way that everything is nested below subheadings and sub-subheadings. If you hold down your finger on the heading for a couple of seconds, known as a long press, it will expand that node and all of its children. This avoids the need to click separately on all of the nodes as you navigate through the various levels of nesting. Now that we've fully expanded the care and support plan node, we can see Eileen's single need, concern, or problem, the 2 goals associated with it, and the various actions and activities associated with those goals. As well as a single heading for each section of the care plan, care workers will also see a heading here for tasks, where all of the service users' planned tasks are listed, and outcomes. Under tasks, the care worker can review what needs to be completed, not for any particular individual visit, but across Eileen's entire schedule, how often, and with what outcomes. Under outcomes, notes and the relevant tasks will be shown. We are seeing Eileen's full care plan here because this is her initial care plan and therefore everything is potentially of interest to us. In a later video, we'll see how revisions to a care plan will be presented instead as a list of differences. This enables care workers to concentrate on what has changed rather than needing to dig through what is likely to be a considerable amount of information searching for changes themselves. Let's go back now to the event details so we can check in to the first of Eileen's events. Of course, care workers will usually check into an event by scanning a QR code, but for the purpose of this demonstration, I'll be checking in manually, which I can do by clicking here. When checking in manually, I'm required to specify my arrival time, with the current time provided as a default. I'm also required to explain why I'm recording this arrival manually. Let's say this QR scan didn't work. You might have noticed that the contents of these 3 buttons alongside Eileen's name have just changed. Before checking in, I was told that there would be 3 meds plus 1 required. Now I'm told that I have so far administered 0 of 3 meds. Likewise, I was previously told that there would be 4 tasks and 1 flexi task to complete. Now I'm told that I have completed 0 of 4 tasks. And finally, the event log button that was previously disabled can now be clicked, with its caption indicating the number of words I have so far entered as the log for this event. Thus, while I'm logged into it, these button captions are summarizing my progress in completing this event. Let's record Eileen's medications first. Here on the meds page, the fact that I am now logged into the event that this med session has been matched to means that I am able to update the status for each of the associated medications. I can click on the green tick to mark the corresponding med as administered. If I make a mistake, I can swipe the card to the right, like this. Clicking on the blue clock will record the fact that I have left out the medication for Eileen to take herself later. Depending upon configuration, this option may not be provided. For PRN meds, those which are optional, I can click on the blue question mark to indicate that the medication is not required on this occasion. Where the medication is required, I click on the green tick. For PRN meds where a dose range has been specified, I will need to record what dose has actually been provided. Depending upon Plait configuration, I may also be required to enter the reason why this optional medication has been provided on this occasion. For topical meds, the topical area will be shown here as a link while I'm logged into the corresponding event. Clicking on this link provides access to the body map, showing pictorially where application is required. Clicking on the red cross will mark the med as not successfully administered. I am required to specify a reason when selecting this option. As I have recorded a status for each of these meds, you may have noticed that some of the information only really relevant while I was dealing with the medication delivery has been removed, and the status is now shown through these icons. Let's turn our attention next to Eileen's tasks. Just as the meds page allowed me to update the status of meds while logged into the corresponding event, this task page allows me to do this for the associated tasks. Clicking on the green tick will mark the corresponding task as completed. If I make a mistake, I can swipe a card to the right, like this. To record that I have been unable to complete a task, I click on the red cross. I'll need to specify a reason in this case. Flexi tasks don't have the red cross button because these tasks are always considered optional. You'll notice that the minimum and maximum frequency and the last time that the task was completed are shown here, helping me, in consultation with the service user, to determine a suitable time for this task to be completed. Where the task has been completed at least once before, the name of the care worker who last completed it will also be shown. I should tick off completed flexi tasks where they are completed, or click on this question mark to indicate that I have consulted with the service user about this task. After I've clicked on the question mark, notice how the green tick button continues to be provided. This could be a useful way to record the status of a flexi task in stages. First, the question mark is used to record that a conversation has taken place, and later, the green tick is used to record that the task has been completed as an outcome to that conversation. If we've agreed that the task will not be completed today, I would simply leave the card as it is shown here. One final job before checking out. I need to record what went on during this event, perhaps including details such as the service user's mood and her receptiveness to receiving medications in the form of an event log. This log will be a permanent record available to users within Plait and optionally through the Plait Mobile app for the service user's relatives to review. I click on the button marked 0 words to begin entering my log, which goes here. If I would like my supervisor or manager to review this log, I can select Flag for Review at the office. When I go back to the event details, I can see the number of words that I've entered. Plait provides an option allowing a minimum number of words to apply to all event logs. 107 words is enough in my case, so I'll click here to manually check out of the event now that everything is apparently in order. It turns out that I cannot yet log out of this event because I have failed to record a status for the Leave Safely task. Let's do that now. Now, when I attempt to log out of the event again, I'm allowed to proceed. I'm asked to confirm my departure time and the reason for checking out manually. Having now completed this event, my arrival and departure times are shown here alongside information about the logging method used. Back on the home page, a large tick indicates successful completion of the event. Before we wrap up, I'd like to briefly demonstrate another feature recently added to Plait Mobile. If a care worker has forgotten to record an important detail relating to one of their earlier events, they are now able to add a supplementary log for as long as the event remains visible from their homepage. To add a supplementary log to an event that I have already logged out of, I simply click on the relevant event from my homepage, click on the Event Log button, and then click on this pencil icon at the top of the page. You'll see that the log that I previously recorded for this event is shown here, so I can refer to this as I write the contents of my supplementary log below. The supplementary log can be separately flagged as requiring the attention of my supervisor or manager by clicking here, and it can be saved by clicking Submit below. Now we can see the log for this event in two parts with the date and time when each was submitted.